what is mental fatigue and how does a concussion affect mental stamina?
So the way I always explain a concussion to my kids when I'm seeing them in the clinic or talking to parents or teachers is to say to them, a concussion is not a bruise and it's not a bleed. It's an inefficiency of the cells in the brain, and it's a temporary inefficiency of the cells in the brain. And so I always say to my kids, with a concussion, you're like an iPhone 4 instead of an iPhone 7. You're not broken. You're just not holding a charge long enough through the day. And if you want to make it through the day, you're going to have to refuel more often. The other way that I explain it to kids is you're like a car with a small gas tank. So you're not a broken car. You can get out of the garage. You can get around town. But you're not a race car right now either. And if you're going to get out of the garage and do some of your errands for the day, you just need to know where all the gas stations are. So you're going to drive, fill, drive, fill. And so I explained to my students that with a concussion, basically what's happening is that the cells that fuel the brain are just not holding a charge long enough. And so like the car with the small gas tank, when you start to run out, you start to run on empty, the indicator light comes on the dashboard. And that's the sign that you need to stop and refuel the tank. And then you're fine. You can keep on going. The symptoms that you flare with a concussion is the body's way of saying you're running on empty. So you might start out okay, and then midway through algebra at 10:30 in the morning, you begin to flare a headache, or you begin to get dizzy, or you begin to get irritable. The symptoms are telling you you're beginning to run on empty. It's nothing to panic about. You just simply refuel. Either put your head down for 5 minutes, or you get a drink of water, or you take your eyes off of the computer or off the book. You refuel, and then you can kind of keep on going. So it's very much a rehab model that we want to teach the kids, that you're going to have symptoms for 3 to 4 weeks, but you need to learn to manage them so that you can keep getting out of the garage and you can keep life going and you can keep doing things. Otherwise, it's going to be too debilitating. It's going to impact your life too much. And while you never feel 100% well or symptom-free with a concussion, we want the symptoms to be annoying and not debilitating. And that's the best way to keep things going for 3 to 4 weeks. Keep school going, keep social events going, and keep the frustration down. So with that kind of analogy, that is all about mental fatigue. It's how well you pace your energy so that you can keep things going, but you don't overrun the car, overtax the brain, and you get enough recovery.